right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the ModPod. Today I'm joined by my co-host, Orion.
Let's go.
Darren.
What's up, everyone?
Hello. And also, I'm Min, by the way. Hello. We are joined today by our very special guest, Mr. CJ himself.
You could just call me CJ.
Mr. CJ.
Mr. CJ himself.
How's it going?
CJ.
Motion.cj on Instagram. A motion designer, our collective friend, a fellow designer, and a novice podcaster
Yes.
guest.
How
First time
more,
podcast.
how many more bullet points can we add to his resume right here?
COVID-19 survivor.
Right, that goes
Well,
on
that
the
might be
resume.
a little too soon.
As of now.
Yeah. So how's it going, you guys? How's quarantine going? Y'all chilling or what? I'm having a great time, to be honest.
I know you and Orion have been all like spending every waking hour on Animal Cross, basically.
It's
Absolutely.
True. It's true.
And I regret nothing.
No. Anytime I'm not playing Animal Crossing, I'm like going for walks with like family and friends.
Hey,
Yep.
keep that 6 feet
You're
distance.
part of the problem.
I know, dude. People don't take it like other people don't take it that seriously. I'm like, bro, get the hell away from me, dog.
Yeah, dude. Okay, so CJ, would you care to share a little bit about yourself for us, for the listeners? I feel like a lot of design people are listening in, so maybe they don't know about you, but you are pretty famous in the design community.
In the design community. Well, I guess in the design department somehow people get to know me, but yeah. So hi, I'm CJ. I'm a senior design major studying at UC Davis, and on the side, after classes, I work on a lot of like animation stuff. Sometimes I do explainer videos. Sometimes I make assets for other people's social media. So yeah. That's a
absolutely.
little something about me.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's anything else. I'm from Monterey. I'm here right now, looking out into the ocean.
You know, we're
Yeah,
making the
beautiful.
best of the
At
situation.
the Monterey Bay Aquarium.
Yes,
Yeah,
straight at it.
That sounds fantastic, dude. Nothing beats the Monterey Bay Aquarium, except for maybe the Animal Crossing Aquarium.
Yeah.
We're all sitting 6 feet apart from each other
Um,
at the aquarium right now,
yeah.
recording this.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
we're just
CJ
standing
stuff
in-
is super clean. I've seen a couple GIFs.
Yeah. Is it
Thanks,
GIF or
man.
GIF, though?
Oh, I don't want to even start the argument here.
Let's see. Do we have a G or a J at the beginning of the word?
It's
Yeah,
giant.
well-
It's GIF.
It's YIF.
It's a
If you're in
yiff.
Sweden, it's YIF.
Shout out to our
so
Swedish
as
listeners.
Yeah, shout out to PewDiePie and everyone at IKEA.
Yeah, basically.
So this quarantine thing has us staying inside and not really being able to interact with people outside of that. So what have you guys been doing to pass the time? I can kind of start. So what I've been doing, I've been playing the new Animal Crossing, of course. It's pretty amazing. I'm having a great time on there. Doing a lot of working out, inside, just so I can
Inside
get
your
swole the
Animal
next time
Crossing
people
house?
see me. Yeah. Just doing P90X.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
not
You
P90X.
went
I
all the
don't
way to
even
the
know how to do
top.
that. Nah, yeah. Let's see. I've been watching a lot of Netflix and YouTube recently as well. A lot of
Yeah.
anime.
Which anime?
Currently, I'm watching My Hero Academia. I'm caught up with My Hero Academia. I'm watching Hunter x Hunter. I'm gonna start Demon Slayer, and also One Piece. So I got a big list.
Where do you have all this time to both like be ahead of me in Animal Crossing and watch all this shit?
And also be really good at Scriblio for some reason. We're both really good at Scriblio.
I just want to be known that I had first and you were second. So
Okay.
Wow, okay. I was like ninth, I
Um,
think.
You joined
But you-
so late.
Yeah.
Though.
Yeah.
I was like,
So CJ, you told me that you've been watching some Netflix and some stuff lately. So what are some of the shows that you watch?
Honestly, I don't watch very much. I kind of took last week to relax and worry about things while also watching Netflix.
Gotcha.
What are some things that I've watched? A few nights ago I watched. Have you heard of Kipo and The Age of Wonder Beasts?
No, that sounds really interesting though.
It's really
Heard
cool.
of Kubo and the Two Strings.
Yeah,
Ooh.
it's is it anything like that? No, it's not. It's kind of
Oh, is
same,
that relevant? No, not at all.
Absolutely not.
but I mean, well, they're both animated.
Okay.
And Kipo is about, it's like a post-apocalyptic world, and all of the humans have hidden underneath the earth, but one of them like gets washed out in like through the sewers and has to find her way back to the underground.
Wow.
But yeah, and she has to like, but she has to get through like a bunch of monsters and also like the few humans who live on the surface. But yeah, it's really cute.
Wait, is it a movie
Cute.
or a show?
I don't know
It's a
if that's the
show,
word I
but
would
it's only
use.
like it's only one season, 8 episodes, or I think 9, something
Oh.
like that.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Not
good.
bad,
I would
yeah.
highly suggest it. But it's also
Okay.
like, I don't know, it's for kids.
Yeah.
But obviously, me being an animation fanatic, I watch as much animated stuff as I can. So
Yeah, I feel like animated stuff doesn't really have an age range unless it's like specifically catered like educationally towards kids.
Right.
Shows like Adventure Time or like Gravity Falls are pretty like ageless, you know?
Yeah. Luckily, recently shows have become like that. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
Let's move to Darren. Darren, what have you been up to?
Well, I don't know. I haven't really been doing any TV watching or anything like that. I have been working
Been
on
sitting
this-
still.
Yeah, you know me best. The one show that I watch, just because I'm a car guy, is called The Grand Tour. So I don't know if you guys
Oh.
are familiar with Top Gear. Basically, it's just these three old dudes who are really into cars and just hate each other, and they go around and blow stuff up. Basically, it's like them
Go around
basically
crashing their
screwing
cars into
around
each other.
with like hella expensive cars. But
Nice.
I've been rewatching.
That sounds like fun.
Yeah, I've been just rewatching all the old episodes. But I've also a lot of my time.
Do they still make it?
Watching all the reruns.
Well, they had 3 seasons on Amazon Prime, and then they stopped just because like I think they're all like really old now, and they don't want to keep doing it. So they're doing like one
Gotcha.
episode once in a while. But a lot of my time has really been spent on this art project I've been working on. Had this idea like over a year ago, and it'll be unveiled on my art Instagram account and actually on my main, but my art Instagram account, shameless plug, at DW Visions. Go peep that.
Fantastic.
Coming in the next few weeks, hopefully.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's
Yeah.
Hey.
Now is like the perfect time to do like any sort of art, anything that you really want to catch up on. I feel like it's kind of a good thing that people get to stay home, you know?
it
I
is
feel like-
in a way. It's like the world
Yeah.
kind of gets to stop and slow down a little bit. You know, everything always moves.
take everyone can
It's like it's forcing you to do the thing that you like always thought about doing, because you literally have nothing else to do.
I mean, I think the other thing too is, I mean, honestly, I feel like I've been doing a lot over the past few months, and I think that now with, I mean, everything being so uncertain, and everything being so up in the air, it's kind of become a moment for me, and I'm sure some other people, for a time of self-reflection, you know?
yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah, because I feel like, you know, when you're constantly like working and making stuff, and then all of a sudden, oh, now things have changed. You know, now the school you thought that you were going to like spend your last few months in is basically closed, and all of the people who you were going to hang out with are all of a sudden,
Yeah.
you know, like miles and miles away from you.
Is that a speaking
Yeah,
to
just like
personal
all of a sudden you have
experience?
to. But all of a sudden you know you have to stop and be like, oh man, like where am I putting my priorities? But
Yeah.
that's what I've been thinking anyways while watching
Yeah, no, absolutely.
lots of Netflix. But
Yes, for sure.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that you've been watching on Netflix? That you seen like the classic shows like The Office or like Stranger Things or something like that?
yeah. Well, I started
Yeah.
on The Office. I couldn't get into it. I did get into There was one vacation where I got into Parks and Rec.
Yes, that is also a classic.
Such a good show.
Yeah, those are both
Didn't quite like
great.
the last season, but
Mm-hmm. Yeah, both of those are like fantastic shows. I always, you guys know, I have like The Office running every time I'm working on a project because it's so mindless that I can just watch it in the background.
nice.
I just always have it running. I've gone through it at least like 5 to 10 times. It's pretty crazy.
Bro, The Office is like, the writing is crazy, like next
Yeah.
level.
No,
It's
I definitely
so
agree.
subtle.
Yeah.
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 I watched it one time, just paying attention to details, and also there's another podcast called Office Ladies where 2 of the cast members talk about like small details.
Yeah.
It's really, really good. So I've been watching it alongside while listening to the podcast, and it's
Yeah.
really, really cool to see.
It's so good because like, there's like the big jokes that are like always funny to everybody. It's like you don't even have to really be paying attention to like see
Mhm.
that's funny. But then
Yeah.
there's also like the subtle things that make it so much
Yeah.
better if you're like actually watching and focusing.
Yeah, like small like callbacks or like just minute details or
Yeah.
something like that. You know.
I should
It's
get
really
back
crazy.
into it.
Okay.
Also, the way it's shot, like the attention to detail. I've never seen a show that's shot like that. It's so candid. It really makes you feel like it's there. And also, I don't know. There's probably
Yeah.
some analytical term for this, but they shot it like as if they were making a documentary. You know?
It's
called
called
mockumentary.
Yeah, mockumentary.
Yeah, that.
Yeah. So enough about The Office. Let's see.
You wanna talk
Office
some-
takeover
Talk
episode.
some animation stuff.
Yeah.
Actually, you guys want to talk
Yeah.
about how we all met CJ?
Oh, sure.
Yeah, no, for sure. Our first time that we met CJ.
Oh, I can
Yeah.
talk
You can
about
go
how
first
I
if
met
you want,
CJ.
Darren.
Yeah. Let's
I was
see.
born from my mother's womb. Darren, you can go first. How did you meet CJ?
Okay, yeah. So this is funny story because like he was actually my boss, like quote unquote
Oh,
boss.
yeah.
Yeah, like a year ago. I don't know, because we both worked for Cycle News Hour. I joined on this like newly PR team that he was heading, basically. That was essentially the marketing department, and they wanted to get more buzz to the organization. And Cycle News Hour, this is your free plug. Next time you're gonna have to pay us, but
Yes.
basically student-run radio show. I think it's still going on, but either way, really incredible work by everyone there. But basically, I was an illustrator on the PR team, and CJ was like creative director. So, yeah, that's basically how we met. It's kind of funny now he's on the podcast with us.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I'm so glad that you decided to come on, CJ.
Yeah, totally. I've been excited about it. Ever since I heard you guys started one, I was like, yo, I want to be on it.
Yeah,
Sick.
yeah. It's been really fun. We've been really enjoying it. It's like it's been a whole learning process, but like it's definitely really rewarding to see that. So I think the first time that we met CJ was in our filmmaking foundations class.
Oh,
it was
gosh.
my freshman year.
Yeah, that was my sophomore year when I was still a bio
Yeah.
major.
Yeah, so I came in as a comp sci major, and I decided to switch to CDM immediately. But so me and CJ were taking this filmmaking foundations class, and we just kind of talked a little bit, and I think we just kind of saw each other around campus, and then we both ended up in design. So
Wow.
yeah,
Yeah,
Two science
actually,
majors into design.
that
Dude,
class.
everybody's a science transplant.
I mean, yeah, I honestly kind of feel like a lot of the arts and liberal arts at Davis are kind of for people who are like, wow, I really don't like they took like Chem 2A or they took like organic chemistry and they were like, nope, not doing this anymore.
Yep. Orion, do you remember how you met CJ?
Oh, I remember, dude. So
Back in my days.
Played over my head, bro, like a rerun.
Oh,
I
like
was
a
at
rerun.
I was at the design careers fair at our university. My computer just slept. Okay. At the design careers fair organized by Darren and Min over here. Shout
Actually,
out.
Alumni Day.
I was not in DCF. Or wait.
Not the right design careers fair. My bad. Alumni day.
Okay,
Day.
I
you
was
go.
a part of that.
Yeah. Yeah. So I was just
Shout out
chilling in
DCC.
the corner.
Yeah, shout out DCC.
Shout out DCC. Design
Both of
Careers
you
Club.
made really awesome designs for that. That was honestly one of the best like design related events you guys have.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That-
Yeah,
most,
great.
mostly
You heard
Darren's
it.
work though.
You heard it.
A lot of Darren's work.
Get that on record right there.
I
from
heard it.
CJ. Thank you, bro.
What
But
did you
seriously,
hear?
I appreciate it so much.
Yeah, I was.
It's a bummer we had to cancel the other event.
Oh, yeah,
because of COVID-19.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm
But
really
anyways,
bummed out
sorry.
about that.
Yeah.
Go on,
That's
Orion.
the so.
It gives us more time to prep for the next one.
Anyways, I
hopefully.
was chilling in the corner of the alumni day, and then I'm talking to Min and this random guy with glasses, and he was like, "I'm CJ," and I was like, "I'm Orion." And that's how we met, and that's the
Wow.
only time we've ever spoken before
That
right now.
is incredibly moving.
Yee. Let's go, dude.
But actually, I didn't know that you guys met like so recently. I thought you guys knew each other from a while back. Or
I thought so too.
Yeah.
No, I don't know this guy at all.
I'm a mystery.
Yeah.
Do you have
He's
any
like a cool
questions for
guy.
him, Orion?
Who are you?
Did not do his
Who is
research.
this guy?
Yeah. just-
Who is he? Who did this?
What does CJ stand for? Cool.
Oh, yeah.
Cool guy.
Wow.
Some of
Oh.
my
Cool
good
guy.
friends don't
Cool
know
guy.
that.
Cool.
Cool GIF.
It's Guy, but the J is silent.
CA.
Oh, that's what my dad calls me. So CJ stands for Christopher John. Funny story
Okay.
about it. John is my middle name, but it was supposed to be my second name, because like Filipinos usually have like their first name, their second name, their mom's maiden name as their middle name, and then their last name. But my mom like wanted John, like she wanted my name to be Christopher John Castro Paghasian. But
Is that like a religious thing or?
I don't know actually. I think it's just a Filipino thing.
I'm so cultured now.
But I think the people at the hospital misread it, so I don't have a.
Oh no.
Yeah, so it's my middle name, not my second name. I'm just Christopher John
Okay.
Paghasian.
Okay.
Yeah, it rhymes,
really cool.
but
Yeah. I mean, it rhymes more than my name.
Do you want to get into? 'Cause I know you had some animation stuff you want to talk about, Min, with CJ. Do you want to get into that now?
Oh, yeah.
sure,
so,
hit me.
Yeah, so I know that we've talked about this a little bit, about like storytime animation on YouTube, where it's like stop motion, sort of like, or you draw frame by frame.
Mm-hmm.
So I've always wanted to get into that because a lot of my favorite YouTubers do that sort of art style. But I know that your type of animation is different. What would you consider it? Like what would it be called?
I think it depends on the project that I'm working on, but in general, it's called motion graphics,
Okay.
and it's different. I mean, it's motion graphics and animation. For some people, it's the same thing, and for some people, they're two different things. Usually, when you think of motion design and motion graphics, you think like commercials. So a lot of the things that you see like in between the Super Bowl and all of that, like the animated commercials are made by motion designers.
Gotcha.
But I mean, also, like a lot of that stuff is 2D animation, like hand drawn frame by frame. But but also motion graphics is also like the news, like all of those like 3D things in between stories. That's also motion graphics, and a lot of times people start out in news, or they make their career in it.
Gotcha.
Let's see what else is motion graphics. Ads that you see for social media, motion graphics people are the people who make those.
Okay.
Sometimes music videos are made by motion designers. And also like experimental films are made by motion designers. So yeah,
That is really cool.
but yeah, generally they call it motion design because and it falls into design because the animation doesn't necessarily serve a story. It serves to either like sell something or explain something or give a message,
That's very interesting. I did not know that.
Yeah, so that's also why like explainer videos fall into motion design.
Yeah, those are really cool.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, honestly, I gravitated more towards motion design because a lot of times it's more experimental. And it's a lot broader. Like with animation, there's like 2D and 3D animation, and then there's also VFX. So like 2D animation is obviously um, is obviously like mostly character animation frame by frame. The thing that
Gotcha.
yeah, like the videos that you're talking about. Yeah, and then 3D is the stuff that you see like Disney and DreamWorks doing. But yeah,
Shrek.
yes.
The peak of animation.
But honestly, like I was like, I don't know. I mean, I'm still interested in maybe going into something like that in my lifetime, but at the same
Yeah.
time, I'm like, honestly, like you'd end up working for like Disney or Cartoon Network, and I mean there is a way for you to like pitch your own story, and or to make your own short and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But it's a lot harder, and a lot of times you're like working with this huge group of people, and you have to be really, I mean, well, you also have to be really, really good as a motion designer. But
Yeah.
in animation, like, I mean, the kinds of stuff like painting backgrounds and like making storyboards, like the storyboards that they make,
Yeah.
and like
absolutely.
concept art and that kind of thing. Like, I'm not as good at that,
Gotcha.
But yeah.
So yeah, have you seen the animated short by, I think it's by Pixar, just before Incredibles 2, Bow?
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah, of course I have.
Yeah.
That thing's
Yeah,
crazy.
that one is like one of the coolest ones, yeah, that I've seen, and especially since it's by someone who's Asian.
But
Yes.
not
It's
even
really
not
cool.
even
I
just
like
the
seeing
storyline, but just the rendering is just insane.
Yeah.
I don't even know how they do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, there's another.
Yeah, so if you guys haven't seen that, like definitely check that out. It's called Bao, Bao, and it's a Pixar short.
I have not seen it. I came late to the movie, so I missed the short.
Oh god.
Gotcha. But it
Oh.
definitely 10 out of 10 animation.
Isn't it like
I-
a man turns into a dumpling and gets eaten or
It's
something?
Yeah.
it's deeper than that.
But also that's
wouldn't
what
understand,
it is.
bro.
Just
You're not
like
Asian.
a guy turns into a dumpling or something. Like sounds lame as hell, dude.
You sound so ignorant as a white person.
Yeah, I
right
know.
now.
A white male saying this.
Bro, don't they
Straight
just
white
like
male.
don't they just like use chopsticks to eat dumplings in that or something?
Oh god.
The funniest
this
part
is-
of that though is the father is exactly like my father. The only thing that you see of him is like the first scene where he rushes in. He's obviously late for work. He like he stuffs like 3 dumplings in his mouth, and then he has the last one hanging, and then he puts on a jacket and walks out.
Yeah, that was great.
So relatable.
So relatable.
Yeah. So is there any particular like animation show, movie, or like any sort of thing that you kind of drive your like inspiration from, or like something that has inspired you to sort of pursue this path?
Yeah. I think there are a lot of things that I watched growing up as a kid. Like I think that the biggest one was probably Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends. I don't know if you remember
Gotcha.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On Cartoon Network with Blue, right?
Yeah, yeah. Like
Yes.
every single character was so different and the style was so wonky. And that was also the first time that they were using Flash to make an animated show, which is a lot like After Effects. Like you could make libraries for things, and like yeah, you could also let it have like a different style than a lot of the other animated shows.
Interesting.
Yeah, I can
Yeah.
definitely see the Foster's influence on your stuff
Yeah,
you post
no,
on
definitely.
Facebook.
When you say that, I can kind of see it now.
That's
in
awesome.
in your work.
Yeah, I don't think too
yeah.
many people know that. But yeah,
that's really cool.
it's cool that you
Thank you
can
for sharing
can
that.
see it. But yeah, I guess I mean, I think everything that's sort of like, well, kids shows in general, have influenced my stuff. Let me think if there's. I mean, I guess a lot of like children's illustration and that sort of thing, like mid-century modern if you remember Housefield's class. Um,
Mm.
or I guess no, wait, no, that was 40B. I don't know if you guys have taken that with
I've not
Sadler.
taken
I've taken
40B.
that. Yeah.
Next quarter.
Dude, you will have so
Online.
much fun. Simon Sadler is the best design professor I've had.
Dang.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Seems like it. But wait,
So
sorry.
for those
just,
of you who don't know, oh yeah,
Oh, sorry. Just to backtrack. Wait, what's the show that you guys are talking about?
Foster's
I
Home
missed-
for Imaginary Friends.
I've never seen it.
It's the one with there were like a bunch of different like creatures in it.
There's a tall red guy. There's a short blue guy.
Yeah.
There's a
I
child.
don't remember. Maybe this is
There's
pre
that,
my time.
Maybe. It's like there was that the one that kept screaming for ice cream or whatever.
Oh,
that one.
Oh yeah, the
Cheese?
yellow thing.
Yeah, cheese. That's right. and then the flamingo one. What is the
Chocolate.
flamingo one?
Oh, Coco.
Coco. Yeah, that's right. Oh my god.
Good stuff.
What
yeah,
a-
no.
what a
was
trip.
I was an Will. Except I'm not tall.
That's really cool.
Oh, he's the
rip.
red guy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He says
That's
sorry
awesome.
a
Yeah.
lot,
Yeah.
which is relatable.
That's a really good show, Darren. I mean, since the last time that I saw it was probably when I was like 10. But, like,
I've
I mean,
rewatched some
like
of
you
the
said,
episodes.
ageless, right?
yeah.
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 I'll go check it out.
So you've, yeah,
Yeah.
CJ, you've seen like Adventure Time and like what's it called, Gravity Falls, right?
Yes,
Those
yes.
are like more modern, quote unquote, like children's cartoons, but they cater to a much bigger audience.
Yeah.
I haven't finished Gravity Falls yet, but it is like really really good. Like
Oh, it's
in
stinking
comparison, yeah,
The f-
comparison to like anime, it's like a different level, but the same sort of reach that anime has. I
Mhm.
think.
The same creator did a new show. I don't know if it's still going on, but
Mhm.
it's called
Alex
Amphibia. Yeah.
What is it called?
It's called Amphibia. It's on
Okay.
it's on Disney Plus.
Okay,
It's
gotcha.
very Gravity Falls-esque, only there's more like slice of life.
Okay,
Mm.
that
but
is
yeah.
really interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, there's
Definitely
this
check that out.
there's this girl who gets teleported into a universe that's like all frogs and it's like medieval.
I think I've heard of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have been watching Black Mirror a lot. Not recently, but like Black Mirror is one of my like inspirations as like a video producer or like a filmmaker, because it's so just well written and so dark.
I saw this very specific episode of Black Mirror, and now I never want to watch that show again.
Really?
It scared the crap out of me.
No, that's
Which
exactly what it's
episode?
supposed to do. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think-
Which episode did
Okay,
you watch?
I
Darren?
still blame my roommate for this. He was like, "Hey, come look at this." And I thought he was going to show me a quick video. Then he started playing the episode, and naturally they do a really good job of hooking you into the plot, right? So it's the
Yeah.
one where it's like this kid in London or whatever, and then
Oh.
what he
I think I know
they
which one
hacked
you're
into
talking
his webcam or something, and they saw him
Oh,
do
yep.
stuff,
Mhm.
and basically they blackmailed him with it, and then they made him like
Yes.
kill a dude and rob a bank, and then he was just like running in
Yep.
the woods at the end, and like the cops arrested him, and then like they ended up leaking all the information out anyways. So I was like, no.
Classic.
Rip.
This was the episode. I don't know what season it's from, but it's called "Shut Up and Dance." I think it's season 4. But yeah, that is a really good one.
Dude, that
Definitely,
was
if you want to watch them again, like I will definitely be down to watch with you. I can break it down from an analytical standpoint so that it's not as like terrifying.
I was so scarred after
dang.
that. I was like, I
Yeah.
am not trusting technology anymore.
No, for sure.
Yeah.
Like
Black
I
Mirror
wrote.
episodes
yeah.
are very like different in the theme from each other. So like some of
Yeah.
them might be like traumatizing, and then some of them might be like
More lighthearted.
more like, well, they're probably still like somewhat traumatizing, but
Also-
like they
Yeah.
vary a lot in level of
Yeah.
the
but
very
traumatizing.
first episode.
The amount of like detail, yeah.
The very
is
first
really good.
episode was like also very
Yeah.
traumatizing. That was like
yeah,
the,
the
Yeah.
one with,
yeah,
with the
you guys know
pig.
what I'm talking about. I don't want to say
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I have. I've watched a few of them, but not that one. I have avoided
Yeah.
that one.
Yeah.
Bro, have you seen
Well,
the metalhead one?
That one is pretty
The
scary.
one that's
I
like
think. I
black and
haven't seen
white
it
with
yet.
the little dog robots.
Yeah.
That one's crazy.
I have some that I would recommend that are pretty good. If you guys haven't seen White Christmas, that's one of the best ones, I think. It's about sort of externalizing memory, and it's really, really crazy. It's kind of hard to explain.
Is
and
it the one where the
also-
guy gets trapped in like his own head and then he's like mentally?
Yeah.
I think I know what you're talking about. I think I've seen it.
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah, that one is really good. And most recently, I've just been watching analysis videos on them, and it's just really cool to see sort of the underlying stuff behind it.
Yeah.
But definitely recommend. But you definitely can't watch more than one episode at a time. CJ, you were telling me that you started to play D&D recently.
Mhm.
Is that right? Did you start playing, or do you have like a group of friends that you play with, or something like that? Or
Yeah.
how does that work?
So I've been playing well, I started playing, what was it? When did I start playing? I played my first session, in the summer with some of my old friends from high school while I was doing
Gotcha.
an internship in LA. And then I did it again, on a New Year's. Yeah, on last New Year's.
Wow.
But yeah, and recently I started, a campaign with some of, my old high school friends and some of their friends at college, and
That's
all of that
awesome.
has been through Discord. But
Fantastic.
I've
Yeah.
recently started having some of my friends who've been interested, and I've been creating a campaign for them. So
That's really cool.
I'm a baby DM, but I have
That's
gotten
awesome.
obsessed with it over the past few weeks.
Yeah, the amount of imagination that goes into that game is absolutely insane.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's like, 'cause you're basically writing, you're writing a choose your own adventure basically, as
Yeah,
a DM.
definitely.
If you want to make your own world.
Yeah.
But yeah, right now I'm creating a campaign where it's like island hopping. So all of the players, start out as like castaways who, washed up on this beach, in like a whole new dimension that they've never seen before.
Oh.
And basically they're going to have to find, their way home, using magical items that are hidden in different islands across the archipelago.
That's really cool.
Yeah,
I like
it's
that
gonna be a
lot,
lot of
yeah.
fun. No, I
Yeah.
have so much. I mean, yeah, if
Yeah.
any of them are listening, no
Yeah.
spoilers, but yeah, there's there's gonna
Yeah.
be an island with orcs. There's an island where like a bunch of people have like domesticated dinosaurs. There's gonna be underwater
That's really cool,
cities. It's
yeah.
gonna be cool.
Yeah, that's a really cool idea. I recently got into D&D like for a little bit over this summer. I think last summer. One of my housemates is really into it. But he made us like a pretty simple campaign while we were up in Tahoe for a weekend. And it was a lot of fun. It was just like hard to get into, but like once you sort of get into the flow of it, it's just so much fun.
It's
so
so
great.
much
you have
fun.
you have to be motivated to like start, because if
Yeah.
someone's like kind of into it, they're gonna be over it by the time they finish making their character, because there's just like
Yeah.
so much.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you get over
Yeah.
that hurdle, it's really fun.
I think the thing that got me into it, because I was definitely like, oh, okay, I guess I'll play it whenever my friends are playing it. And then I did one solo mission with, my friend from high school who is my current DM. And I don't know how much you want me to get into the story. I feel like
Will
it's
you
pretty good, but
will you sort of explain to the audience what D&D is, what it stands for, and like sort of give a brief rundown about it? I think.
yeah.
Darren, do you know about D&D?
I've been. Dude,
What did you
sorry,
say, Darren?
I kind of got lost there. I was like,
Exasperates.
Is it?
Yeah, yeah.
Is it Dungeons and Dragons?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, yeah, I know. That's all.
So yeah,
that's
CJ,
all
will
I
you
know about it.
you give us a rundown?
This
Yeah.
is
Um,
nerd stuff. Darren wouldn't know about
It's
this.
so, dude, I am peak nerd.
Let's go.
I've become peak nerd. But so Dungeons and Dragons, you probably have heard about it, like, in the name, they're dungeons, they're dragons. It's a, role-playing tabletop game, that where basically, you as a player, get to create a character that lives in a fantasy realm, and your dungeon master, the DM, creates a world for you to like explore and adventure in and like fight monsters and that sort of thing. Everything in Dungeons and Dragons is determined by the dice. So like, you know, if you want to if you want to hit a monster, or if you want to like drink a pint of beer really quickly, there are different dice rolls that you do for that. And
there's a lot of different dice, right?
yes, many different dice. There's 6-sided dice, there's 4-sided dice, there's 20-sided dice, there's 8-sided dice. There are dice for
cool
percentages. Yeah, it's definitely complicated, and like I've been a DM for only like a few weeks, and I've only done like 3 sessions so far, but yeah, it's complicated, but it's
the
fun.
coolest part, the like most fun part about it is that there's like the rules are super loose, and it's all based on like the players, so the player can say that they want to like do pretty much any random thing, and then like say like your party is in a cave fighting goblins or something, and you're like, oh, I pick up the goblin by his head and fucking throw him into the other goblin, and then the dungeon master has to like make up a scenario for that, and then like choose the roles. So it's like you can do anything basically.
Literally anything.
Yeah.
Like because and like for example, in the campaign that I've made, like literally you can spend, if you wanted to, you probably wouldn't want to, but you could spend the entire time like playing in a water park, or like
just exploring.
farming or exploring. Yeah, like you don't like.
Stuff.
You can do literally anything in D&D, which is the beautiful thing about it.
Yeah.
But
there's such a negative stigma against it, because, or not, like, at least I think so, because people think they're like, oh, nerds playing D&D, like that's like the stereotype, you know?
Yeah.
But
I mean, it's true.
It's much more expensive. Yeah.
It's simultaneously true.
Yeah.
And nothing else. It's just true.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that anyone can get into D&D, but because of its nature, like you have to be invested in it. It's not really something that you can do passively, you know?
Yeah, no, 100%.
It's kind of like
much.
inherently nerdy too, because like I feel like nerdy people are more into like weird niche like imaginative things, and like not a lot of people,
and then other
will
people
be
can
into
do
that.
sports and things.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, people who do sports, they're like, their imagination is not big enough for D&D, so that's why.
Exactly, dude. His muscle's too big, but his brain's not big. Right?
Oh.
I think, but I do think that different parts of D&D are definitely for different people. Like, because you can just spend the entire time just like fighting monsters, you know. And if you want that to be your thing, you can. You know, some people really like to role play. So in D&D, like since you play a character, you can be someone who's completely different from you. You know, you can be like a wizard who only speaks in rhymes, or like a paladin who smites people all the time, you know?
Yeah. There's such a disconnect with like your actual identity and like your like in-game identity, you know?
Yeah.
Much like online presence and that sort of thing.
It's like improv with rules, you know? Or like playing pretend
That's a
only
good way
with
to
rules.
describe it. Yeah. Absolutely. So let's transition over to a short little fit check, since we're all kind of just vegging here.
This
you
is
know?
the COVID-19 exclusive.
This is the COVID-19
Dude, that sounds like
check.
a sneaker line. Got the COVID-19s.
So, Darren, do you want to go first?
I mean, sure. And this is like the one time
Go ahead.
I really don't have any good thing on, because like I just roll out of bed basically in the same clothes I am like now. I have this old black and white Puma jacket that I've had for a few years, and I just keep it in the closet for just like lounging. I'm wearing a high school physical education shirt.
Wow.
PE shirt.
Damn.
Dude, the PE
I don't even
shirt,
have
that's
mine.
that's the biggest casual wear.
No, that's the new wave right now. So y'all gotta get on this. And
It's a
then
vibe.
just some like light gray sweatpants, and then some socks, and yeah, that's basically it.
Bro, Yeezy should start selling PE attire.
Oh, that That would be sick.
Kanye West High School.
$500 for a PE T-shirt for the jersey.
Yeah. So, Orion, you can go ahead.
All right, so I have no socks or shoes on.
Nice.
I'm wearing the classic unbranded purple faded sweats that I literally always wear in these.
Do you
when
know
I'm
like
recording.
where you got them from? Like
No
what
idea.
store?
It was just on a shelf.
They just
in my room
appeared
one time.
in your
Yeah.
your closet
Honestly,
at one
it
point.
probably just phased in from like the next dimension, the sweatpants
Nice.
dimension.
Damn.
And then I've got, I feel like I always wear this shirt too. I have like a blank cream tee from Urban Outfitters.
Nice.
And
I
I've
can
been
already
wearing all
see you
these
in
clothes.
this outfit because I see you
Yeah.
wear this exact outfit before. Probably.
I haven't showered in
Mhm.
2 days. I haven't changed clothes in at least a day. Just
Oh my
picture
God.
me like looking greasy as hell. My hair's all
Like a
messed
goblin.
up. Yeah,
Yeah.
looking like a creature from D&D right now.
Yeah.
Damn. Looking like an NPC from D&D.
Like a homeless NPC.
Yeah. A beggar. Okay, CJ, break down your outfit for us.
I mean, I live simply. I've got
That's
jeans.
I'm
fair.
naked.
No, absolutely.
I have. Yeah. Surprise.
CJ's naked.
Yeah, I got jeans. I got a red T-shirt, and I have a sweater over it. But
Nice.
Yeah.
What color's the sweater though?
it's just gray. You know. Oh,
Okay.
I'm wearing my SpongeBob socks that one of my friends gave me.
Oh, let's go. That's it.
Why did it sound like you were making up that you were wearing the sweater? What color is it?
Yeah.
Gray, you know?
It's
gray.
actually
I was
naked.
I was just thinking, was there like this new color that was invented for that garment specifically, and he's trying to figure out
Yeah.
what name to put to it?
It's space gray.
It's almost gray.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks
Yeah.
like there might be a hint of red in it, mayhaps.
We're making him make up more stuff.
Design 15.
Yeah, what's the what's the CMYK value? For
Oh,
that color?
gosh.
The color palette. Come on.
Yeah.
Hashtag
Um,
R67456.
Okay, so what I'm wearing today, I've got my UC Davis, like one of these shirts that you get from a basketball game, but like
You wearing a basketball
first
game?
year
one of those
Aggie
free
connections.
one of those free T-shirts, you know, because my my roommate is involved with athletics, so he just gave this to me one day.
Oh.
So I
Nice.
just wear it like in the house. I've got some H&M like shorts, but they're sweat shorts. Is that what they're called?
Yeah.
They're just like sweats, but they're shorts.
Sweats.
I've
cut off.
never seen that, I don't think.
They're so comfy. They're a size too big because like my cousin bought it for my other cousin and they didn't fit, so I got to steal them. But they're like a navy blue color. It matches the logo on the UC Davis shirt that I have on. And then over that I have a Worth It, BuzzFeed Worth It hoodie. That's gray, that has a sort of box logo on it that says itadakimasu in Japanese.
I'm sorry, what does that mean?
It means
Orion, aren't you
it
the
means-
resident weeb?
Yeah.
Okay, let me say
Damn.
it's basically blessing the meal, saying let's eat, but
It's thank you for this meal, basically.
yeah.
Ah.
Yeah.
Alright.
So, and
My
I'm
friend told me
rocking
that, by the
some-
way.
I'm rocking the Logitech G430 headphones. They're blue wired, and also the blue Snowball, which is also ironically white.
I'm rocking the NVIDIA GTX 970 right now. I got on my 8 gigabytes of RAM.
Damn, you got that model? Oh my god, I couldn't get it when it dropped.
Yeah, dude, you should see this colorway.
Collaboration with Nike.
NVIDIA x Nike.
Yeah. But yeah, that concludes our fit check / gear check, I guess.
I just realized, Orion, you never said what you've been doing over quarantine time. So
You
wanna
just
talk about it?
just realized that?
No, go
I just
for it,
realized,
yeah.
like, oh wait, we skipped Orion.
What have I been up to?
Ryan had a new song that dropped recently. It's on Spotify.
Follow
It's
me-
called Reruns.
Yeah.
You can plug yourself, go ahead.
Honestly, I think that I think Burning Daylight was a better song, but
I like them both.
I'll be making better things in the future. But follow me.
They sound
at
better when you play
Coyote-
them both at the same time.
Yeah, combines the goodness of both of them.
Exactly.
At Coyote Music on Instagram. and also on Spotify, Kiodi, Kiodi. Please make a playlist with my songs 20 times and just let it run on shuffle overnight while you sleep. Let's get my song to number 1 on the charts.
Number 1 on the
Anyways,
Billboard.
The
You see it
top
coming.
10.
Yeah. We're gonna overtake Yummy. All right.
Oh
Yeah.
God.
Yummy's such a trash song, bro.
Yeah,
It's so
yummy,
terrible. Did you know there's a country version of that song
Oh,
my
God.
god.
Oh.
featuring Florida to Georgia line?
Florida Georgia line?
Is this a real thing?
Yeah,
What is that?
it's a country band.
Oh, okay. What have I been doing? Well, I live at 2 different houses because my parents are separated, and so I've been kind of like hanging out at either one. I've been on a couple walks. That's the only time I leave my house.
Damn,
Other than that, I've been playing a lot of Animal Crossing.
absolutely.
I've been trying to work on beats and stuff and make music, but I don't know, I haven't been like super inspired lately, and I feel
Animal
like
Crossing inspired beat.
dude, actually, it's actually
COVID-inspired beat.
Oh,
Oh,
God.
no.
It's just a bunch of old people coughing.
the
Different
Just
pitch.
sample
aesthetic.
that. Yeah. Chop it up.
Animal Crossing sound samples.
Yeah.
The aesthetic of Animal Crossing is actually pretty inspiring. Like, it puts you in a good like mindset. I don't know.
I feel happy about life because of Animal Crossing.
Yeah.
Damn, I really need to get into this game then.
You definitely should, CJ. Like, if you have $60 to spare, Animal Crossing will change your life.
If you happen to have $60
Pause
laying
after
around,
that.
Yeah. It's pretty fantastic.
yeah.
Actually, well,
Let's talk about Animal Crossing.
Okay.
all right.
So Darren, have you heard of or played Animal Crossing before?
Well,
You've heard of it,
obviously,
but like,
I've
do you
heard
know
of
what
it.
the concept? Yeah.
Well, I've obviously heard
Because
of
no
it.
one will fucking stop talking about it.
Yeah, literally
Yeah.
in the chat, all like that's all they talk about. But
Yeah, so-
actually, what is it?
So Animal Crossing New Horizons is sort of like a island getaway sort of game where you live on a deserted island. You sort of do things to get money, and you sort of pay off your rent. You can upgrade your house, or not your rent, your mortgage.
Your loan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's a lot of like bugs. There's that you can catch, fish that you can catch, fossils you can dig up.
It sounds so fucking lame.
So it's like living a virtual
don't-
life, basically.
I don't know how to. I
Yeah,
don't know how to
no, it's
explain
like-
it in a
it's like
way.
you-
It's beyond comprehension.
You
So-
you land on an island that's like a little set area, and you have like a couple neighbors, and then there's like a guy who's like organizing everything. But like the whole core gameplay is basically like you're just developing the community essentially, and like
Yeah, that's a
making
good way to put it.
friendships with the animals and stuff.
Wait, so
And
you're a
then-
colonist?
Yeah, well, I mean it's a deserted
Essentially,
island. There's
it's
no
a
one,
desert-
there's
it's a
no one
deserted
living
island.
there. It's
Yeah.
a small island also.
It's a really interesting, like, it's an easy game to get into. It's very hard to explain like why it clicks so
Yeah.
well with so many people.
Mm.
'Cause-
And also, like, a reason that it's, like, simultaneously really fun for people who are into it and, like, hard to get into for people who aren't is that, like, it barely holds your hand. Like, it doesn't explain anything, really. And you have to,
Yeah.
like, be constantly, like, trying everything you can. Otherwise,
Mhm.
because, like, you might not even know that you could, like,
Do certain things.
yeah, you would never know unless you tried everything. And that's...
Yeah.
I feel like that's really cool because there's like a kind of added, not like mystery kind of.
Everything changes every day. So it's
Oh yeah,
mirrored,
that's a big mechanic.
it's mirrored like directly in sync with like your time.
Yeah, it runs in
so-
real time,
Yeah.
and everything you
Um,
do, like every big thing, takes at least a day. So it's like if
Yeah.
you unlock like a bigger house, you won't get that until like actual tomorrow in real
Yeah.
life.
So it keeps your like anticipation in that way.
So
Yeah. And there's
is
like
it
real
fair-
seasons, and the holidays are real and stuff. So it's really cool.
Yeah.
Is it fair to say? To me, this sounds like it's Stardew Valley. Like,
In a
Stardew
similar
Valley
way.
is definitely
Yeah.
inspired by it.
Yeah.
because you both. So essentially, these games are just for if you're not satisfied with your current life, but you want to sit on the couch and live another life. Here you go. That's what it
Okay,
sounds
well,
like to me.
okay. I was reading about like the origins of Animal Crossing in the past couple days. It's basically like the guy who came up with the idea and like pitched it to Nintendo. He was like an artist working at Nintendo, and he would always come home from work, and his kids and like wife would be playing video games, and he would also be playing video games at work, but like they were doing it separately, and he felt like they weren't like connecting. So he wanted to make a game where they could both be experiencing like the same things even though they're far away from each other. And it was
adorable as hell.
It was inspired by like when he moved from one part of Japan to another part to work at Nintendo. He was like super lonely because he didn't know anybody, he had no like connections or anything. So he wanted to make a game that was about that like replicated the feeling of going to like a new town by yourself and like building relationships.
That's so adorable.
See, the backstory changes everything.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So it's not necessarily like a disconnect from your like actual life. It's more like me and Orion have played it together, and we've played with like other friends like Alana and like Alice and some other people.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really cool to sort of like just kind of explore everything with your friends in that way. You know, there's so much to explore. Like we've played it for 3 to 4 days now, and it's just like there's so much more to like. You never know what's gonna happen like the next day.
Yeah, we've definitely we've only experienced like 0.1% of the content so far.
Yeah.
Dang.
It's pretty amazing. Yeah, definitely. If Animal Crossing wants to sponsor us, our DMs are open.
So if you haven't noticed, we are trying actively to be sponsored by Nintendo right now.
And CJ, definitely buy Animal Crossing.
I will highly consider it. Yeah,
Or-
you're making a really good sell.
Or if they sponsor us, they'll send us copies for free, right?
Exactly.
Boom. And you also need
exactly.
to switch too, but yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely a good thing that's going on. Like it released at the perfect time during quarantine because like people could just play it during this, you know.
And you get the experience of
really
going outside.
Yeah. Mhm.
Bro, this is a game explanation podcast.
Yeah. There's so much knowledge packed in this episode that I think that we should end it here. I think we're going a little over time here, but thank you so much for coming on, CJ. We were very happy to have you.
Totally, man. Anytime.
Yeah.
that was
Definitely. We should run a D&D campaign with CJ sometime.
Hell
Yeah.
Yeah. But we would love to have you back eventually at some point. But
Totally.
yeah,
I would
thank you so much.
love to do that.
Thank you, sir.
Sounds good.
Yeah, all right. We will catch you guys in the next episode. Hopefully, this episode will be on either Apple or Spotify. We are going to try very hard to do so. But if not, it'll be on YouTube.
Tried. We keep talking.
We
about
have
trying.
not. We really haven't tried at all, but we will this time. We promise. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for listening. As always, we will see you guys in the next episode.
Yeah,
Bye.
Bye.